Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm an exercise physiologist, and today I want to talk to you about how to attain healthy skin throughout the decades of life. So if you haven't already, you want to hit that subscribe button. It's a little red button underneath this video. It says subscribe. You can hit that to get notifications for future videos. You can also like, comment, subscribe on this video. Fact check me if you want to. I'm not a doctor. I'm an exercise physiologist, as I mentioned, and I do my own research on various health topics. So with that said, let's get into the video. All right, so healthy skin is something that kind of, I think, radiates the overall health of a person, whether or not their skin is moisturized, whether the condition of the skin basically is really going to show how the body is functioning on the inside, I believe. Okay, so plastic surgery and things like that I've talked about before, and I really believe that the human eye looks for things that are natural and real and can kind of notice when things are not. So I'm not a big proponent of plastic surgery. I think that we should try to age as natural as possible, and do the best that we can with what God has given us. Okay, so today's tips are going to be based on natural solutions for healthy skin. So I found a research study, and I'll link it in the description below, based on 86 Japanese participants. They were given a PARQ. This is a questionnaire, and it asked them about their activity levels and their hydration status of their skin, whether or not they were happy with the condition of their skin. And the results showed that when comparing the individuals, the people who had higher activity levels tended to have more hydrated skin. And it also showed that the higher the intensity that they were active, okay, they actually had the most hydrated skin. Why is this? Okay, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it. And I think a lot of it is just being able to detoxify the skin through sweat and then replacing it with, water. And maybe people that are more active are just more conscious of, their health in general, hydration status, and things like that. So it's a really interesting study. You can go read it. I'm going to link it below. And, so it gives you something to think about. All right. So some foods that we can eat to increase our skin health. So the main thing is we want to be hydrated, properly hydrated. And it's very challenging. I'll go through some weeks where I'm like extremely hydrated. I feel like I'm drinking just the right amount of water, not too much, not too little. And then some weeks it's just like, I'm like, wow, I'm really thirsty and I haven't had time to drink if I'm working or whatever. So just being on top of that, hydration status, make sure you're getting, half your body weight in ounces, hopefully, and drink when you're thirsty. So some foods, healthy fats are going to be really good for the skin. If you eat fish, you can eat fish like salmon, healthier, cleaner fish, hopefully wild caught, from a sustainable source if possible. Seeds I found to be really helpful for me. I try to eat hemp seeds. I have them every single day. I make hemp milk, get all those omegas in there. Flax seeds, avocado. But the problem with these things is that we don't want to overconsume them. So you can have them in very small amounts, and just add them to your day every single day throughout the week. Another thing is enzymes. So our body functions on enzymes, and there are some foods that have naturally occurring enzymes in them. Pineapple has papain, and bromelain is in pineapple, and papaya has papain. Okay, and these are enzymes that are going to help us break down foodstuffs in our gut and just kind of like facilitate all the processes in our body. And I've really found that when I'm eating a lot of pineapple, or in the morning I'm consistently eating pineapple, my skin is the most radiant that it can be. And the eczema and things that I've dealt with kind of like really subsides. So, maybe you can look into something like that, and you'll know if you've had too much pineapple. You'll get, a sore mouth, so you don't want to overdo anything just because it's a good thing. But maybe you want to consider having the pineapple in your diet. I wish I would have known that when I was a teenager. I had bad acne all on the sides of my cheeks here. I used to wear my hair down to cover the acne. I used to cry about it. It was a really hard time. So I really feel for people that struggle with acne. And some of it is hormonal. It's just something that we have to get through. But, you know, a lot of teenagers, they don't really focus on their diet. So if I would have been, you know, eating cleaner back then, maybe focusing on having the pineapple and eliminating the processed foods in my diet, maybe my skin would have been better. So for all you teenagers out there, get some pineapple, get rid of all the processed foods, stop eating McDonald's, and just clean up your diet. You can start now. Okay, berries, obviously any kind of berry. What we want to do is we want to increase our antioxidant consumption. All berries have these antioxidants that attack free radicals, what are basically just things that are tearing our body down from the inside out. And these processes are natural, but the more antioxidants and vitamin C that we have, the more collagen we're going to produce and the better our skin is going to look and appear from the outside. Spices, adding turmeric, cinnamon, all these things that are also really anti-inflammatory and good for our blood sugar and different things are going to really help with our skin health. So like I said, so the function of our body is really going to show through in our skin. Okay, so treating the body from the inside out. Ginger I found to be really helpful as well. It's spicy and it also acts as an anti-inflammatory. You want to take some probiotics if you're not taking some. You can do your research, Garden of Life. I take one by a company called Renew Life. That's the one that I prefer, but you don't need a lot. You can also eat the fermented foods and stuff. You know, sometimes they have like the sauerkraut has salt and kimchi and things like that can be a little bit spicy. So for me, I try to have the fermented foods as much as I can, but then I'm taking the probiotic every other day just to kind of help with my bowel movements and things like that too. So another thing is if you're constipated, that's going to affect your skin. Okay. So make sure that you're taking care of that. Fresh herbs are really cool too. You can add these to your smoothies if you haven't already thought of doing this. This morning I made a smoothie and I put some fresh basil in it, some cilantro, and these are things that are going to help detoxify your body and kind of, you know, make your skin just, you know, illuminate. Okay. Rest and sleep. So we talked about the foods a little bit. You know, there's so many things out there. You can do your research on what foods and stuff, but the basic things are going to be the healthy fats, the antioxidants, vitamin C for collagen production, and then you want to balance that gut bacteria with the probiotics, and then the fresh herbs and the spices and things like that. So have fun with it. All right, so moving on, rest and sleep. So getting enough sleep at night, at least 8 hours, you know, trying to listen to your body and rest when you need to can make all the difference. So you can go to bed at night. There's been many times where I'm like, man, like my skin doesn't look good. I wake up in the morning and it looks totally different. So don't get so wrapped up mentally in a moment of how your skin looks and freak out. And I think that's kind of what leads people to getting plastic surgery and doing extreme measures, because they haven't really utilized all the natural resources, and B, they get freaked out in like a moment of like, this is happening to my skin, you know, and they want the best or the fastest remedy as opposed to the best or most natural thing that's going to affect their whole entire system. If that makes sense. All right, we talked about hydration. Alcohol is really bad for the skin. It basically just like tears down the cells. It's very toxic. So, you know, alcohol can be enjoyable, and I don't want to make people afraid of alcohol or just, you know, if you don't drink, that's great. And I don't think that people should drink, but if you have a drink once in a while, just make sure that you're not overdoing it and that you are staying properly hydrated. Okay. Sweating, as we talked about with the research study. So the more we're sweating at the activity level, as it increases, we're detoxifying our body, getting all of the pollutants and things moving through our system and being eliminated through our urine, through the sweat, okay, and things like that. Liver health is really important. So I asked a dietitian at my job the other day if I should do a liver detox, and he said to me, you know, all the foods you're eating are detoxifying your liver. So I was like, okay. So I think a lot of times we want to overdo it and we want to do these crazy things where we feel like we need to detox, as opposed to just incorporating a healthy diet with exercise into our lives, and then making that like our life song, which is going to help repair the liver, repair the organs, help the body oxygenate itself because our organ systems need oxygen to function. We have something called cellular turnover, okay, and it's in every single organ system of our body, and a lot of them, most of them, all of them require oxygen in order to do their job, okay? So the more we're moving, the more foods we eat that are alive, they're going to help us in that process, okay? So obviously you want to limit the processed foods and the sugar, if not just get rid of them completely. When I went to Disney, well, I go to Disney a lot. If you guys know me, I really enjoy Disney World. And they have a lot of vegan options now, but you know, they're not all healthy. But the popcorn there is actually vegan, and it's not made with butter. It's like a fake like DHT, or there's some chemicals in it. And I would always notice that I would eat it, and then I would wake up the next day and my skin would just look so bad. And I'm like, what the heck did I do? So a lot of these things, even though they're vegan, or, you know, we think that they're lower calorie or whatever, you have to look at your skin health and see how your skin is reacting to certain things. And then just by a process of elimination, get rid of things that are triggering you. So if you're a teenager, maybe it's acne. As an adult, maybe you're getting broken blood vessels. Maybe you're getting like a ruddy appearance where it just feels like your skin is just like screaming at you. It's very irritated, dryness, you know, the texture of the skin, all these things. And, you know, we can do, you know, some people like exfoliating. I'm not really big into that. You can do masks and things like that, but really you want to treat the body from the inside out. Okay. When you go to sleep at night, make sure you're taking your makeup off your face, okay, gently. You don't want to use very hot water. And I've talked a little bit about what I use on my skin if you're interested. Not that I'm perfect, you know, I have my days where my skin is just like, but I notice that by how I'm treating myself, you know, if I'm not having alcohol and I'm staying hydrated and I'm exercising and all the things I'm supposed to be doing, my skin looks so much better. Okay, but I have some videos, if you look down in the history of this channel, on the skincare that I use and that I prefer. You know, I like non-toxic, and not only that, just organic products that have real ingredients in them. You know, a lot of these companies, they have these ingredients that are harmful for the skin later on. Okay, one of those ingredients is glycerin. You know, people say, and there's been research on how glycerin helps hold water in the skin, which may be true, but over time it actually ruins the natural barrier of the skin, that protective barrier that we need. So you just want to like look into what's in your natural products, okay, and check out that video for more information on that. And yeah, if you're sleeping in your makeup, you know, that is really going to be bad for your skin. And whenever I do that, sometimes I'm really tired and that's happened. I wake up with pimples, and I'm like, how is this happening? You know, and another thing I'll mention too is, I don't use microwaves. And when I stopped using microwaves, my skin health, I think, got a little bit better as well. Every time I start using microwaves again, I just notice that my skin looks angry. So maybe you can look into something like that as well. All right, I have a couple products here, things that I use that I don't think I've mentioned before, but this one here, this serum has helped me a lot with my skin, and I put it on at nighttime. It has lavender. It's called Nourish Me by Balance Guru. I can go on their website, and they have some coupons you can look up as well, but this one has lavender, even primrose oil. Like the formulation of this product is so perfect, I feel, and it just makes your skin look so good when you wake up in the morning. So I use this only at nighttime. I've talked about soaps that I like before, but this one's called Pasha, and this smell, I think it was frankincense, I believe, but it smells really good. It's a little bit earthy, but it's an olive oil based soap. A lot of these soaps use castor oil. There's some with goat milk too, but try to get as least ingredients as possible. I got this at Whole Foods. You'll see those soaps like in the little counter tables, and you're like, oh, those are just the expensive soaps. But really, you know, the investment in your skin really does make a big difference, as opposed to using all these other brands, the box brands you'll see in the grocery stores that have the chemicals, have the glycerin, have these things that are cleaning your skin, but in the long run, they're destroying your natural barrier of your skin. So scary. All right, so I'm here to enlighten you on things like that, okay? a couple more things before we close out this video today. Facial exercises have been really helpful for me throughout my life. You know, you can look up different exercises online to help tighten the neck, you know, the cheeks, the forehead. There's so many different exercises, and I feel that when I'm doing those, the firmness of my face is a lot better. So you can look into those. And then be aware of your facial expressions as you're sleeping. One thing I noticed is that when I would go to sleep, I was thinking sometimes really hard, and I was squeezing like the middle of my eyebrows, and I'm like, okay, relax your face. And I would just like relax my face and then try to go to sleep with that mindset. Okay, so maybe you want to be aware of that. Are we going to have emotions? Yes. Are emotions bad? You know, no, they're not. We're a human being, and laugh lines and all these things are totally fine, and they're natural. It's okay, you know, but there's certain things that are indicative of some kind of illness or trouble, like if I'm ruminating on something, like I've mentioned, and I'm squinting my forehead and it's creating these lines that don't really necessarily have to be there. Just be aware of things like that. Okay. All right, so we went through everything. Sorry I spoke a little bit fast, but I wanted to not make this video too long. So basically just, you know, do the best that you can. And what we're doing consistently is really going to show through in our skin. It's not the one-time thing or the quick fix or, you know, these remedies that, you know, seem too good to be true. Sometimes they really are. One thing I do like is the red light therapy. I think there's a lot of healing in that, and you want to make sure that you're purchasing things that are high quality. You don't want to just get a red light therapy device that is like $20, because that could be damaging to your skin. You don't really know what is really going into that, but something that is a reputable company, red light therapy, you want to look into that as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out next week.